Hello everyone, Red Shikshan Sanstha's online learning program welcomes you all. Today we are going to see letter writing for standard 10th. In previous video we have seen how to write in formal letter. In this video we are going to see how to write an informal letter. So let us start. What is the meaning of informal letter? An informal letter, also referred to as a friendly letter, is a personal letter written to friends or relatives. It is written in personal fashion. You can write it to anyone with whom you are a non-professional relationship, although this doesn't exclude business partners or workers whom you are friendly with either. There are fewer formatting rules for informal letters than there are for business or formal letters. The letters can be used for some reasons like conveying message, news, giving advice, congratulate recipient, request information, asking questions, etc. It is a personal letter written to whom you are familiar with, like friends, siblings, parents, or any other close one. While writing an informal letter, one can afford to be friendly and make use of personal or emotional tone. That means informal letter is written to our friends, relatives, siblings, parents, and the close relations. Here this letter is also having some formatting rules but not as like the formal letter. The tone used here should be personal or emotional. Now what is the difference between formal letter and informal letter? Let us see. The formal letter is written for business or professional purpose with a specific objective in mind. It uses simple language which is easy to read and interpret. On the contrary, informal letters are written to friends and relatives for personal communication and require a casual or an emotional tone. The size of a formal letter should be concise. That does not include irrelevant matter. It contrasts the informal letter can be lengthier. That means formal letter should be concise and it is up to the point. But informal letter can be lengthier. Formal letters are used for writing letters to business contracts, that is partners, suppliers, customers, clients, etc., college or institute employee, professionals, etc. As against these, we write informal letters to friends, relatives, acquaintances, etc. That means formal letter is official letter and informal letter is a letter written to our relatives. Let us start the letter writing. See what is the first point you need to write in the letter? Address. The first thing to write is your address, that is the address of the writer, basically the sender's address. We usually write the address on the left hand side of the page at the very top. The address should be accurate and complete. Even when writing to close friends or relatives, the address must be written so they can reply back to the letter with ace. With ace means easily they can reply to your letter. For that purpose, we need to write the address at the left hand side top. If the recipient of the letter is in other country, do not forget to write your country as well in the address. Date. Next, just below the address, we write the date. This allows the reader to have a reference as to when the informal letter was written. He can then relate better to the content of the letter. The date preferably should be in expanded form. That means it is the necessary point in your letter that you should write the date in the expanded form. Greeting. Now, since you know the person you are writing to, the greeting can be informal as well. If it is a friend or someone close to your age, you can greet them by their first name like dear Alex. If you are writing to a relative like your mother, father, aunt, uncle, etc., you may greet them as such, for example, dear mom. And if you are writing to an elder person, someone you respect greatly, you can address them as Mr. or Mrs. Likely say, for example, you are writing a congratulatory letter to your teacher. It can be addressed as dear Mr. Mrs. Alex. So here according to the person to whom you are writing, you need to change your greeting. Introductory paragraph, and now we begin with writing the actual letter. The introductory paragraph sets the tone for the whole letter. You might begin by asking the recipient about their well-being, or you may say that you hope the letter finds them in good health and great spirits. The opening of the informal letter should be casual and comforting. It must not be formal and direct as in business letters. Business letter, that means informal. The formal letters, while writing the formal letters, we are introducing ourselves and giving the brief idea about what we have written the letter in the first paragraph only. But here in the informal letter, you need to start with the personal touch. That means you need to comfort the reader by asking the casual questions. Body of the letter. The letter overall should maintain a friendly tone, but you have to adjust the language and the wording according to who you are writing to. With a friend, you can afford to be very casual and flippant even. But if you are writing to an elder relative, you must be extremely respectful and considerate. That means if see to whom you are writing the letter, and according to that you need to construct the sentences in your letter. Be respectful with the elderly person and very casual with your friends. One way to determine the tonality of your letter is to remember how you talk to the person in a conversation and then apply the same syntax and sentiments to the letter. Imagine in your mind that how you will talk with the person to whom you are writing the letter, and like that you will use the words or the sentences in your letter. Conclusion. In the conclusive paragraph, sum up the reason for writing the letter, that is, summarize the letter, say a meaningful and affectionate goodbye to the reader, and do not forget to invite the reader to write back or reply to your letter. It shows an intention to keep the conversation going. That means you need to ask the person to reply your letter so that the conversation will go on. Signature. There is no one way to sign off informal letter. Since they do not follow a strict format, you may sign off as you please. Some commonly used phrases you can use at the end of the letter as like lots of love, best wishes, kind regards, kindly, yours lovingly, yours affectionately. These words you can use at the end. Tips for writing informal letter. See, the first tip, make sure you double check for grammatical accuracy and spellings. They carry marks. That means when you are writing a letter in your exam, at that time you need to double check the sentences you have written, so to avoid the grammatical mistakes. Leave adequate number of lines between paragraph to make it look neat. That means, as I told you, after each and every paragraph you need to leave one line. Underline the main points is very important, but it is advised to do it after finishing your exam. Use a pencil and scale for underlining. Presentation is very important. Read a lot of letters to get an idea. That means if you read so many letters on internet, in any book is there, that kind of books or internet will provide you the different topics for letters, and you can read that letters to improve, to enhance your letter writing skill. Now see here one sample letter I am going to show you here. See carefully. The question of this letter is, write a letter to a friend congratulating him or her on his or her success in class 12th board exam. So here no address is provided in this question. So I have taken the address on my self writings. See here, B32, sector 11, name Rohini, New Delhi, pin code number, then date in the format which we have discussed previously. Start the letter with personal tone. Dear Muskan, my friend to whom we are writing the letter. See the first paragraph here. My happiness knew no bounds when I got to know that you have topped your school and achieved your dream. I felt so pleased that I wish I were there to congratulate you personally. So here in first paragraph we have maintained the good relations with the person to whom we are talking. It is a personal touch to the letter. The result has proved that hard work, determination and perseverance bring good results. You were so laborious and passionate about it. I knew you were very nervous too, but I was always very confident that you would come out with flying colors. I apologize that I couldn't even attend the celebration party despite my wishes. So here we have given a relational touch or emotional touch to the letter in the second paragraph. We have described the feelings of ourselves in the second paragraph. See the last third conclusion paragraph. Hope to see you soon. Please be encouraged and continue your hard work. Your future is very bright. My parents and elder sisters have sent lots of love and heartiest congratulations. With lots of love and best wishes, yours lovingly, Shefali. So here ends our informal letter. If you have seen, we have used the emotional tone in this letter, which is very personal. So I hope you understood how to write the informal letter. Do practice at home for writing the informal letter. Thank you for watching this video.